What's up, Cricket Rockstar Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Cricket Rockstar Show. Hope you all are all well and in very good health. What a top-class performance today from New Zealand to reach its second ICC Men's T20 World Cup final. This is following an emphatic 9-wicket victory over South Africa in the first semi-finals played at the Eden Gardens in Kolkata today. Without further ado, folks, let's just get on with it. You know why? Because I have a lot of things to do. So South Africa did enter the semi-final undefeated, but found themselves in all sorts of trouble early on as Mitchell Santner made what must be termed as a genius move to introduce the off-spinner Colin Konkashi into the attack very early in the second over, and it did turn out to pay dividends as he removed Quinton de Kock and Ryan Rickleton in the space of back-to-back deliveries to leave the Proteas reeling at all sorts in all sorts of bother. At one point, South Africa's top order and middle order crumbled under immense pressure, which left them reeling at 77 for the loss of 5 wickets after the 11th over. And then came the fight back. Now, in knockout matches in the past, we have seen the Proteas choke on so many occasions. But for the South Africans to fight back and get a fighting total, they needed a counter-attacking innings to come from somewhere down the order, and it came with the likes of Marco Jansen. He stood up blasting 55 of 30 deliveries, which included 2 boundaries and 5 maximums. He also had support from Tristan Stubbs, who, mind you, did make a crucial 29, which did help the South Africans get back in business, but it was the bulk of Marco Jansen's innings that got South Africa from 77 for 5 to a competitive 169 for the loss of 8 wickets from 20 overs. Now, by the halftime stage, you should say that the Proteas would have had enough to defend, but we have seen in past T20 World Cup matches where 160, 170 is most likely not enough on these types of wickets, and you guys are gonna hear what I mean by that. When the Kiwis came out to bat, it was all Finn Allen all the way through. He came out in a flamboyant onslaught, or should I say he came out destroying the South African bowlers to bits and pieces, and it left them without any answer one bit period as he smashed the fastest ever century made by any batter or batswoman, or should I say batsman or batswoman, in the history of all ICC T20 World Cups. And I'm talking about men and women, by the way. He smashed 100 in just 33 deliveries, the fastest ever century in the history of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, and it included 10 boundaries, which is 4s, and 8 maximums, which is 6s. Now, maximums is when you clear the boundary for 6s, and when you hit a 4, or should I say when you hit a boundary, it's all along the ground. So I'm just explaining it a little bit for my American followers, because I know I have some followers from America and Canada who know nothing about cricket, but since the T20 World Cup has started, I have kept mainly everyone from my contacts to all of my followers all around the world updated with the action. Finn Allen's innings single-handedly took the Kiwis over the line very easily. And I'll tell you one thing, folks, the game was done and dusted by the 10th over. You know why? By 9.1 overs, New Zealand had reached 118 without a wicket, courtesy not just Finn Allen alone, but also Tim Seifert. He joined in the party. But 3 overs later, from being 118 without a wicket, the game was virtually over because Finn Allen was just giving the South Africans, or should I say the Proteas, licks after licks after licks, or in the words of Ian Allen, the host of the Crime Watch show, wetting after wetting. It was an embarrassing showing from South Africa, to say the least, but this was one of the most lopsided matches I've seen, or should I say lopsided run chase I've seen in all of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup knockout games. Forget about 2024. That was an absolute blowout. But this innings, or should I say this semi-final, was a one-sided affair because had it wasn't for Finn Allen's innings, the South Africans could have found themselves back in the game, but they had absolutely no clue how to get him out. In the end, New Zealand did reach its target with almost 7 overs remaining. They did manage to get these 170 runs in just 13 overs. We've seen in bilateral series of late run chases are being over before the 10th over or even the 15th over. That's due to the modern day aggressive batting we have seen in all T20 cricket. These were the key moments from the match. Not just Finn Allen's 100 from 33 deliveries, which was the fastest ever T20 World Cup century ever made, which included 10 boundaries and 8 maximums, but there were also other key contributions too. I mentioned earlier on Marco Janssen's 55 of 33 deliveries, which dragged the South Africans from 5 wickets down for 77 in the 11th over to a respectable total that turned out not to be enough on a pitch that was an absolute belter for batting. Then Tim Seifert's innings. Now, a lot of people are saying that his innings shouldn't have gone unnoticed. He has been in red-hot form within the last couple of years. He made a quick fire 58 of 33 deliveries, which provided the platform for the blistering start in Kiwi's pursuit for 170 for victory. But people should not take this underrated. Why I'm saying this last guy that I'm going to mention here underrated, Mitchell Santner brought Colin McCauley on for just the 1 over in the first inning, which was the second over of the match. Took 2 big wickets, De Kock and Rickleton, in consecutive balls, and he never bowled another over after this, which I find was a shocker. 2 wickets for 9 runs. He should have been given 4 full overs to bowl with, and that would have shifted the entire balance of the match. And he was the one that also did the damage in the last game against England in the Super 8, in which they should have won had it wasn't for those silly mistakes which costed them. But nevertheless, they managed to get into the semi-finals because they had a way better net run rate than Pakistan. But that 1 over in the second over of the match was the real danger blow that literally killed South Africa's chances. But I was so surprised that he did not bowl another over after this, which was the most confusing part. But nevertheless, the Black Caps reached its second ICC Men's T20 World Cup final. It was a top-class performance, especially in a knockout game quite like this, where they came in as the underdogs. This was actually New Zealand's, I think, 3rd or 4th time in an ICC T20 World Cup semi-final where they came in as the underdogs, but this time around, they won again. And now they're waiting on the winner of the India versus England match on, or should I say tomorrow, to decide who will they be facing on Sunday for the title in Ahmedabad. And let me tell you one thing, this is advice for New Zealand. They would be happy to either face England, because India, on the other hand, they've been trashing the Kiwis with ease in recent limited overs matches just before the competition. But now that they have their full strength team, anything can happen. So do not underestimate New Zealand if you're an Indian fan or even an English supporter. South Africa, on the other hand, it's yet another heartbreaker, but we know that the South Africans are going to get over this. We have seen them lose so many ICC tournament events in the semi-finals, and it's yet another heartbreaker that is going to take them some time to get through. But keep in mind, they do have a home World Cup next year that they should be focusing on rather than playing another bilateral T20 series, which is against New Zealand in a few weeks from now. That is something that they need to focus on because it's 50 over game. It needs a big green boost. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Cricket Rockstar Show. Hope you guys liked it. I'll be back tomorrow for the post-match review of the second semi-final involving India and England. And in case you all did not see most of my videos that I've been posting from the Men's T20 World Cup, this would be the best time to look back at all of the videos that I've posted in the past. So until we meet again, my dear friends, be good, be cool, stay frosty, always greet one another in private and public spaces. And also, last but not least, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. Bye-bye for now, and take care, everybody.